can see the readings now. Is it a bit better, the audio? And I want to give people, I'm going to go through the comments first of the actual people who posted on the, who posted yesterday on the community post. I want to answer their ones first. It's good for me. Yes, there we go. So just a bit of a rehash. Apologies, guys. It's great to be with you all today. I'm trying to do a little bit more live streams, particularly on the second channel, which is the business channel, helping you guys be successful at business, grow your career, get your first job, all of that kind of stuff. Content has been on a little bit of a pause on that channel because I've been super busy building up this tech channel, as you could guys hopefully have noticed. We've got more videos than we've ever had before. We've got hopefully high quality videos than we've ever had before, more testing, better cinematography, better storytelling. But anyway, either end of this year or next year, early next year, that channel is going to go gangbuster. So we're going to be doing a live stream weekly on the business channel to help people be successful with their career and all of that. So please make sure you subscribe to the business channel. Other than that, down below the video, you'll find the lists of all the laptop deals. My friend, one of the team members, myself, went through yesterday for hours scouring the internet to find the best deals we could. We've put them down there. You'll find them down below. There's one like single link called Best Laptop Black Friday Deals. That's the overarching one. And then there's individual links for like gaming laptops, 14-inch laptops, student laptops, programmers, etc. They'll be down below the video. I'm going to update them as I go today. And just a little context as well. Normally, actually, as of in the last couple of months since I went full-time YouTube, I actually have had other people in the room helping me out. I don't today, so please bear with me. And let's rock. Let's get into it. It's Black Friday. So I'm going to start with some questions that came through. And there's no rush, by the way, guys. I'm here for probably at least an hour, if not 2 hours. So I want to start with some of the questions that came through yesterday to the comments that came through on the post that I did announcing the stream. I think we should do them first. So someone asked, do these deals apply to the UK, this live stream? I'm happy to give people overseas advice, but the deals that we have posted in the sheet, which you'll find below the video, those are US only. As the channel expands late next year, we have something very exciting coming, which you guys will see in about 2 weeks. We will be offering deals and finding deals for internationals, particularly our major international viewers. Sorry, I know we have people viewing everywhere, but that includes India, UK, Canada, Germany, and Australia. We will start doing deals, showing deals and scouring the internet for deals for those countries. Next one. The Lenovo Slim Pro 9i is on sale for $1,749 at B&H Photo Video or Costco for the 4050 spec for $1,499. That's a great laptop. I'm assuming he means the 14-inch. It is an absolutely fantastic laptop. I mean, it doesn't, honestly, that particular one, and I'm referring to, let me actually bring up the deal so I can show you what the guy's referring to. B&H. So I'm going to actually share my screen now so I can start going through deals with you guys. Okay. Oh, it's a 16-inch. What a great deal. Fantastic laptop. So I'm going to share. Here we go. Let me make sure. Oh, it's not sharing. Just 2 seconds, guys. I've got to get the display capture working. 2 seconds. Apologies, folks. And browser, macOS screen capture. Here we go. Okay. Just give me a second. Apologies, guys. Okay. Alrighty. I'm just going to bring up some deals so you guys can see some. Give me 2 seconds. I just need to fix this so it correctly scales. Apologies, guys. I don't have anyone in the studio helping me today, so it's a little bit difficult for me today. Here we go. Okay. Just give me a second. I know it's a bit annoying to see someone play around with tech, but as I said, no helpers are here today, so you just got me. Okay. So he's referring to this laptop here, the Slim Pro 9i. This is the 16-inch. This is a great laptop, $400 off. This is honestly one of my favorite laptops of the year. It might even make my personal best laptop of the year. So this is a great one. I do think, just let me fix, there's something wrong with the scaling on this screen, just 2 seconds. Okay, there we go. Can you guys see this okay? Okay, thank you. Just make sure everyone is good. Yeah, so this is a great one for anyone who wants a premium 16-inch laptop that doesn't want to buy a MacBook. Maybe you want to do a bit of AAA gaming on the side. This is an absolutely fantastic one. So this is at B&H right now. So we've got the RTX 4060 here. This is a really top sale actually. I might add this one, a link to this one to our sheets just in a second. But this is a very good one. So as I said, this is good for programmers, and you know, I'd say some light video editing. I wouldn't go too ham on this one. It'll do 4K video editing, but this is not something that we would use here for our high-end video editing because it's not quite powerful enough. But overall, very good laptop, low fan noise, low heat that you feel. Great keyboard on this laptop, by the way. Fantastic screen. So this is actually a really good deal if you're shopping for a premium one. Okay, next let's move on. So I want to go through some more of the comments. Josh, can you please tell me about the Galaxy Book 3 Pro for $1,300 or the Acer Zenbook 14X $900? Both have i7. I personally, folks, I don't love Samsung's laptop range. Mainly the keyboards are just, they're very low travel. I did have one in, I've used a ton of them at Best Buy. We actually went and bought one earlier this year, and I just didn't think they were all that great, to be honest. I would personally, if it was me, I would wait for the Zenbook 14X to go on a big sale. Let's see if it is on sale today. I noticed yesterday it wasn't, which is really odd because that laptop's been going on sale all year. So we're talking about this laptop, the Zenbook 14X. And this has been going on sale at Best Buy a lot for like $600. Now it's not on sale. I would wait. If you're choosing between this and a Samsung, I would probably wait for this to go on sale. It's been going on sale all the time. I don't have the Honey coupon installed on this at the moment, which the Honey browser is something that we use to track prices. But this has dropped to like $6.99. So I just wouldn't buy this today, even though it is Black Friday. It's a great laptop though. I bought one myself. All right, next question. I'm coming to the, I know there's a lot of questions, just we'll get to everybody, guys. I just want to I'm getting to, when I post a comment on the community post and it goes up, which it did yesterday, and a lot of people commented on it, I want to give them preference because they did comment early. So was able to get the Legion Slim 514, 32 gig of RAM, 1 terabyte MTOT 2 off Lenovo's site down to 1,300 with discount, still debating on pulling the trigger. So Slim 7 and Slim Pro 9i. Okay, so Slim 514, so we're referring to this laptop. So I'm going to go over to our laptop deals. Actually, this is under our gaming laptop deals. So all these sheets you'll find below the video if you click the more. Could someone just confirm that you guys can actually click that and see that? So this one that is being referred to as the Slim 514, which is this one here in column L. So it's actually, this person's got it down to 1,300. We'll update the pricing later today. Although I'm looking at Slim 516. Here we go. Slim 514 column L. We had it for about 1,479 yesterday. We didn't notice many discounts on it, but with some coupons, and there's a coupon just Josh6, by the way, all capitals, just Josh6. That might help you on Lenovo's site, but has got it down to around $1,300. I think that's a pretty good deal, to be honest. It's a really, Slim 514, there's not much wrong with it, the Legion Slim 514. For those who don't know the laptop, I'll bring it up now. So this is a 14-inch gaming laptop. It's actually, this is the kind of laptop that's still good for people like programmers because it's got quite a good bit of power in it. It's got a good cooling solution. It doesn't get that hot to the touch, this one. It's not the highest quality laptop. You know, it's nothing. For some reason, Lenovo's Legion range, Legion 5, 7, those are meant to be very similar to each other, but we've noticed a pretty big quality or premium jump to the Legion 7, not in price, but in the overall quality of the laptop. But still, this is it's a very good laptop. It really is. Certainly in the price range. Look at that, $1,191. Great deal there. Even for this one, guys, if you wouldn't mind, let me see where our link takes you to. Clearly, we've got to update some of these links this morning. So we're taking you to, I just want to make sure we're getting you to the right place. We're taking it to Best Buy. I'm going to upgrade that to Lenovo. Just give me a second, guys, because that is definitely a much better deal over at Lenovo this morning. Wow, that's a fantastic. This is that you can see that's way cheaper than Best Buy for the Slim 5 Gen 8. Yep. Okay, just give me 2 seconds, guys. I just want to update that deal on that sheet because I want to make sure people are being sent to the right place. 2 seconds. Sorry, normally I would do it with some of the other team members here, but everyone is relaxing today other than me. So I'm going to do it myself. Just 2 seconds. I'm updating it on the other laptop to point to the right place for everybody. Slim 514. We want to make sure everyone's going to the right places to save the most amount of money. So 2 seconds. I'm doing that now. Okay. Apologies, guys. I will be back with folks in a second to answer more questions. As I said, I just want to make sure we've got everyone going to the right place to get the best deals this morning or today. So I'm going to change where people are going for this particular laptop. So they're now going to the right place. So this is the Legion Slim 514. Here it is. Okay, that link should now be going to the right place for people. And I'm going to enter the right price, which is 1192. I just want to make sure the spec on this is good. 16 gig of RAM, 512 gig SSD, RTX. Oh, this is the RTX 4050. That's why this is so much cheaper. But I still think it's such a good deal that I'm going to update our sheet to it anyway. So I'm going to put this as 1192 for now on sale. And you could probably get it even cheaper with coupons. And this is down from 1439. Okay. So that should have updated this sheet here. Our gaming laptop sheet. Yeah, so now we see the correct one. And I'm going to update this to show it's the RTX 4050 because it is. But that's a really good deal. And you can go to Best Buy if you want the 4060. But that's just a fantastic deal. Okay. Because Best Buy is not on sale. There's no point me showing you the Best Buy price for that. Okay, so again, this is a good all-round laptop. It's not as portable as a normal 14-inch because it's got a 14.5-inch screen and it's quite a large form factor, this laptop. But it is powerful. It doesn't get hot. It doesn't get that loud, the fan noise. It's pretty well controlled. It's one of the best, I would say, high-powered laptop that you can game on. That's a 14-inch, 14.5-inch. But as I said, this is more like a 15-inch, the actual chassis size, because it's just a bigger laptop. Alrighty. I'm going to update this to 5. I just want to get this correct, so I'm updating it to 512 GB. I think we're looking good there. Alrighty, so let's continue with the questions. The Slim 7 and Slim Pro 9i are solid options for Lenovo. Yes, they are. Alright, let's go through some of the comments from you guys right now. Jeez, there's a lot. Wow. And again, welcome everyone. Only 179 viewers right now, but hopefully we get more. Hey Josh, recommended laptops for data analysis. Please share a budget option too. You know, we actually have a data scientist on the team him and I have discussed this a lot. Funnily enough, if you go to our Apple deals, there's some great deals and you'll find that in the link below. The MacBook Air 15 is actually a pretty good option for data science because it depends how you're doing data science, guys. If you're doing data science on the computer or you're doing more machine learning data science where you're using actual server farms, if you're using cloud servers or server software and you just want like a big screen, lightweight that you can do data manipulation, the MacBook Air 15 is not a bad option. That's one I would do. If you want something a bit beefier where you're going to do actual processing on the laptop, I personally think any of the following, Legion Slim 7 with AMD is great, Legion Slim 7 Pro, that's the model again with AMD, but it's the bigger version. You'll find these in our gaming, actually our favorite laptops have these, so you'll find the link to that down below the stream. Those are both great options for data science, they have plenty of performance. The MacBook Pro 16 clearly is a good option for data science. The M3 Pro model is probably good enough for you. You don't need to get the M3 Max. Just let me have a drink. I'm going to bring up our, while we're doing that, I'm just going to bring up our favorite laptops that we've got so everyone kind of sees the ones I'm referring to. Just 2 seconds. Here we go. All right, so these are my favorite ones overall that you can see here. This link is down below the video if you want to get it. And so I was referring to then, so we're talking about data science here. So anything like, I would say MacBook Air 15 is good, which you'll see. That's actually on our Apple laptops. We updated it last night. There's some good pricing on the MacBook Air 15. There's some great sales there. So if you're doing cloud-based data science, MacBook Air 15 is great. You don't need a lot of performance on the laptop. And then down here, as I said, if you go down to best programming or gaming laptops, you'll see the Legion Slim 7. You'll see, I'm going to bring it up because I'm kind of hiding it the way I am. Actually, I better, just 2 seconds, guys. It's not fitting on the screen properly, so I want to make sure you can see everything that I'm showing. Okay, just 2 seconds, folks. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so here, I'm going to move myself over to the other side, just 2 seconds. This is what happens when it's just me, by the way, today, not anyone else. So normally I have some helpers helping me out with this, but everyone is taking some time off. All right, let's keep going with the questions. Next one, so Bradley asked, do you have suggestions for $500? I do actually, Bradley. A couple of options that I think are good in the $500 range. Just 2 seconds. Okay. So I found one last night that I thought was pretty cool, which is the Yoga 6. And there's a Yoga 6 16, which is on a big sale. I quite like that one. What I found was when we talk, and I'm talking about here, you see budget option. I've got it, Lenovo Yoga 6. I found this crazy sale for $499 there. You can click the link. This is down from $849. So this is the Yoga 6 16. There is a Yoga 6 13. As I recall from last night, that wasn't on a big sale. The Yoga 6 to Yoga 7, honestly, I personally haven't found it's a massive jump between the two. And I'm referring to, just so people know what I'm referring to, this laptop here, which is a convertible. It's kind of Lenovo's like mid-range one. So there's a Yoga 6, and you'll see here, big sale on the 16-inch. It's gone up a little bit from where it was last night. And then there's also a 13-inch. You've got a decent resolution display there. It's not a high performance machine, but I found it's just an Intel U series, so it'll be good for, plenty good for some lightweight work, even, you know, that kind of thing. I wouldn't go too hard for something like programming or anything like that, but you know, with a big laptop like this, a 16-inch with a low wattage processor, you're not going to hear heat, fan noise. This is a pretty, I've used these laptops before. I've had quite a few of them in, pretty high quality laptop. And $549, not a huge price. The other one in that price range that you could do for sure is the HP Pavilion Plus 14. That one, even though we've got it for like $700 in our sheet, that's the one with the OLED model. I'm just going to bring it up for you. Just 2 seconds. Yeah, so this is this one here, HP Pavilion Plus 14. And again, if you need the sheet, down below the video. So that model that we've got here for $739, and apologies if I keep pointing over there, there's a big monitor with what you guys are seeing there. That one for $739 is the OLED model. So you could get a different display. One of the problems with the HP Pavilion Plus 14 is the cheaper displays aren't as bright, and that could be an issue, but that's still a good laptop in the kind of price range that you're shopping. We're talking about the $500 price range. So all in all, this one with a lower end screen is fine. The Yoga 6 16 is a great one in that price range, honestly. 16 gig of RAM. I like this processor a lot, gives you a lot of battery life, and it's available at Best Buy, so you can just click that link there. Alrighty, so that's you, Bradley. Let's move on. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you here. Omen 16. Omen 16. Okay. So now we're talking about the gaming laptop, the HP Omen 16. I know this laptop very well. We actually have two of them here in the studio. We have the Omen 16 and the Omen Transcend 16. Wow, this is a, oh no, that's a 4050, so let's not get crazy about that deal. 4070, $1,399, that's a very good deal. I want to check though the M16 first before we jump on this one. There's two other laptops that I would be considering instead of this, okay? There is the Asus M16. Now the difference between the M16 and the Omen 16, the Omen is going to feel cooler to the touch, but the M16 is going to feel like a high quality device. Yeah, I would get the M16. Look, they're similar kind of price. So this is $1,500. if we go back to where we were for the previous one, give me 2 seconds. So the Omen 16, you're talking about $100 difference. Is that a 4070 of the M16? So the M16, it is a 4070. Yeah, I would honestly get if it was me, I would get the M16. It does feel warmer to the touch. I want to be clear, it feels warmer to the touch than the Omen, but it's overall a better, it's like a high quality device, and you do notice it when you hold the two side by side. The other device that I would consider, and you guys can find these links here, by the way, this is our gaming laptop sheet, link will be below the video. It helps the channel, by the way, if you buy from here. This is in fact how the channel makes most of its money to actually produce the videos you guys watch. There's also a Legion Pro. I want to have a look at this one, the Pro 7. We have a link here in our best down under gaming laptops. So in the price range, you might want to consider this one, the Legion 7 Pro. Out of the M16, the Asus M16, the Omen 16, and then the Legion 7, which I'm showing you right now, 16. This one uses AMD. I would say the Legion is my favorite. It feels like a high quality device, but it's not really on sale. Okay, so, and this is, by the way, this just FYI, this is the AMD version. Let me bring up the Intel version. Okay, so this one isn't on sale, but this would be my favorite. This is actually a 4090 versus the other two I was showing you, a 4070. So 2,200 for 4090 is not too bad. But this would be my favorite. Then I would say the M16. And just one thing I want to say about the Asus M16, so I'm getting very worked up about this. Myself and my buddy, Jared's Tech, and I have talked about this a lot between the two. The Asus M16 has huge problems once you go to their higher end models, the 48 and 4090. It just completely underperforms with those GPUs. Also, and if you want any kind of performance out of them, the fan noise hits 65 decibels, which is vacuum cleaner stuff. So don't get this laptop above a 4070. If you want to go into those higher GPUs, something like the one I'm showing you here, which is not that one, which I was showing you over here, the Legion Pro 7, I would go to something like that versus get a high spec GPU in the Asus, or you could move to Asus's Strix-Scar 16. That's also a great one for a high performance GPU. So this is under, you'll find all these laptops here, sorry to jump around. Under best gaming laptop here, you'll find the Legion Slim 7, which I love a lot. That one caps out about a 4060. There's the Legion Slim 7i, the Intel version, caps out at a 4070. If you're going to 4070 though, I personally would get the Asus M16, you see it here. Then if you want a higher performance GPU, the Legion Slim 7 Pro, this is the 4090, or this says 4080 here, I think I should upgrade it, and the Asus Strix-Scar, or the Alienware X16. Those are my favorite gaming laptops, and we've had so many in, guys. By the way, just a little note on the Alienware X16. We're actually planning to make a dedicated video on it. Sometimes when you review a laptop and it's got a lot wrong with it, you kind of discard it. And with the Alienware X16, it does get quite warm when under load, about the same as the M16 actually, but much warmer than say the Legion 7 Pro. It also has the display just isn't that bright, which is really odd because you get a lot of good screens. We saw this year a lot of gaming laptops have fantastic screens. This one isn't that bright, but the Alienware's keyboard, oh guys, out of 5, if you were to rate the Alienware's keyboard, it was the 11. It is so good. This is it's a mechanical Cherry MX low profile keys, unbelievable. So we love it in the studio. It's one of our favorite laptops. That's a great one to get, particularly if you're not carrying it around every day because it is really big and bulky. And also if you're using it in a slightly dimmer room, the brightness of the screen is going to be great. So that's also another good gaming one. All right. Sorry, guys. A lot. It's crazy. So many comments. Justin says, need 17-inch at least and a number pad. I got to be honest, Justin. We reviewed 70 laptops or more this year. It was absolutely crazy the number of laptops we reviewed this year. And we really focused on 14 and 16-inch because you just can't, even with, and just so you guys understand, I was doing this part-time with one other guy doing it part-time till about mid-year. Then I went full-time, he went full-time, 2 others went full-time, and many others joined us part-time. Even with this kind of crew, to really use these laptops, and we use them, by the way, just FYI, every person in the rooms behind me, we're a pure laptop shop, and people kind of hate this, but we rotate laptops about every week for every single person for video editing, gaming, this, that, the other, because we want to make sure we really actually are using the laptops we talk about. It's hard to get up much past reviewing 70 laptops. Next year, maybe we'll get to 80, 90. But with that said, we really tried to focus on 14 and 16 inch. So back on the question, the person wants a number pad, 7-inch laptop. I can't give you a 17 inch because it's just not what I've reviewed. But I would say the Legion Slim 7 is one of my favorite ones with a number pad. That's this one here. You'll find it on sale. Click the link, check it out. That one is on sale. That's a 16-inch with a number pad. It's going to be more portable. Just honestly, I don't think you're going to lose that much. And this one, by the way, if you click that link, there's a way to upgrade the screen. In fact, I'm going to show you it right now. That will give you a really high quality screen, which I love about this one. No other Legion that I can find, certainly not this Legion, this not no other Legion, but certainly the Legion 7 Pro, the higher end, the one that supports the 48, 4090. You can't upgrade the screen the way you can do on this one. And so this one, if you want a higher resolution screen, you'll find it down here. It's only $20 upgrade, and that's better color accuracy as well. So that's a great option, reason I like this one as well. So let's move on. All right. The stream has too low volume. Guys, is the volume still low? I've pumped the volume up like crazy, but is it still too low? Let me know. I'm just waiting for a comment on that. Let me see if I can get the mic a little bit closer, folks. Okay, hopefully that's a bit closer for you all. I'm just going to turn it up again on the camera. It says fine for me, someone says. I pumped the volume up so much. Yes, everyone says it's a little low. Okay, let me just turn it up a little more. Okay, so hopefully it's a bit louder. What about the AMD framework? AMD framework, good laptop. Quite like it. Its only negative, and I'll bring it up so people can see what we're talking about here. This is a great laptop, by the way, for programmers in particular, or people who like to tinker with tech. So we're talking about this one, which is the AMD framework. There is a 16-inch version coming out, which we haven't got in the studio yet. They're going to send it to us when it comes, and we will review it. The only issue with this one, and these are just a couple of negatives, and I should go to the positives too, but you do hear a little bit of fan noise. It's not terrible. It really isn't. The Intel version is much louder, but it's not terrible. But you hear a little bit of fan noise, so just expect that. It also, honestly, it looks pretty dated. I think they've got some colored bezels coming out that maybe will make it look a bit better, but that's the only two negatives. Other than that, it's actually a really good machine. I've had a ton of experience using this laptop this year. Certainly you won't be doing any high-end gaming on it with the processor it's got. It's a pretty it's really a processor that's more designed for, it's got good CPU performance, so it's good for like a programmer, as I keep saying. It's not going to be good for a AAA gamer. Certainly don't expect to do any video editing on this laptop. But other than that, it's actually a really good laptop. I quite like it. And the interchangeable ports, so useful, so useful. All right. Which laptop processor is better, AMD or Intel for programming? I would 100% get AMD, not even a remote question. For gaming or video editing, there is more of a question. Video editing in particular, a lot of major video editing apps still work much better on Intel. So Intel is probably the one to get to be safe. But for programming, I would absolutely get AMD. And this is why. Particularly when they're running on low wattage, and just the way a computer works, by the way, is when you compile code, bam, it pumps up the wattage to do the code compile. Once you're done, and any developer would know this, most code compiles are actually pretty quick. Modern developer tools, when you're debugging or something, it just does an in-place code compile anyway. It's really only code compiling the area of code that you're working on. It goes back down. So it uses wattage, goes back down. On low wattage in particular, AMD is just so much more efficient. And that means it doesn't need to draw as much power for the performance you're going to use. And therefore you get a lot less heat, a lot less fan noise. And sorry to keep mentioning heat and fan noise, but those are the heat, fan noise, battery life are the biggest issues with laptops that we see today. Out of the 70 laptops, we could honestly disqualify probably 40 of them on those three categories alone. And with an AMD processor, you just don't get as much heat, fan noise, and you get longer battery life. I do have a video which goes through AMD versus Intel, and it's this one here. I'm going to show you YouTube. Let me just bring up Just Josh, and we'll show you which one. So this video here, Framework 13, it's the second one down, here it is. That one goes into a lot of graphs comparing the two, but particularly for a developer, you just don't want to have a lot of fan noise. You don't want to have a lot of heat. Like if you're in the zone debugging an algorithm or something like that, you don't want to be like, oh, computer's uncomfortable. And so I would definitely go AMD for that, honestly, for that reason alone. Plus battery life, it's just more, you don't need to get as stressed because you don't be stressed that you're going to run out of battery. All right, next one. So again, the links are down below the video. Even if you buy a different laptop than what we've got here, please at least use our links to get into the stores. That's how we generate money to make these wonderful videos for you, and it certainly is helpful for the channel. Oh, Just Josh 6 coupon is not working for the Legion Slim 7. It may be, Keanu, that there's a... I tried it last night and it did work. It may be because of Black Friday there might be a better coupon. Try using, and this is valuable information for everyone, download the Honey Browser plugin. When you go to a checkout at a major store like a Lenovo store, try to run that and it'll try a bunch of coupons for you. That one you might find has better coupons, particularly today or this weekend for the Black Friday weekend, than our Just Josh 6 one. But I'd just try all of them, see what you can get the best price on, okay? Let's go. I want to go back because there's a lot of questions at the beginning that I think deserve an answer that I've kind of glossed over. And feel free to help each other out on the chat, goes without saying. Don't wait for me to get to the question. Legion Pro 5 AMD RTX 4060 or Legion Slim 5 AMD RTX 4060. Out of these two, so let me show you what is being asked. Slim 5 RTX 4060. We have one of these. I'm assuming this is a 16. It would be. I literally just returned one of these. And then we have the 5 Pro. You know, the big difference here between these two, so we're referring to this one here, where's the Pro 5 series? Here it is, okay? So once you get to the Legion 5 Pro, and by the way, guys, I have a spare one from last year, which I'm going to do a giveaway in one of our upcoming videos, so make sure you're subscribed for that. I do have a spare one of these. So Legion Pro 5, and this is the 5i that I've got up here, which is the Intel model, compared to, and these are both 16-inch laptops, compared to the Slim 5 16, this is available at Best Buy at the moment, by the way. Let me bring up the Best Buy one for that one. The difference is really just the weight and the bulk, honestly. And so the Legion 5, oh, I've typed in the wrong thing. I should be typing in Slim. Apologies. Oh, they've got is this current generation? They do. Yeah, so Best Buy have both. Let me bring up the Slim 16, and I'm going to show you the side by side, okay? So the main difference between these two, Legion Slim 5 16, wow, that's quite a decent sale for a 4060. That's a good sale. Let me update, I want to update this one in our sheets because this is a very good price. But if you're comparing that to, and let me update I'm going to show you the other one, which is, so that one is they call this a Slim. It's not really a Slim in real life. The Slim 7 is actually quite slim. This is more of just a standard size laptop. The big difference between that and the Pro version of the 5 is the Pro is going to be a lot heavier, as I recall. I don't recall, I've got one in the other room. It's going to be heavier, it's going to be bulkier, and you will have a little bit, that's unfair. You will have quite a good amount less fan noise on the Pro, and it won't feel as hot. It's just a bigger laptop with better cooling. So that's the difference, and we're referring to this one here, Legion 5 Pro. And if you could bear with me, guys, I actually want to update this one because that's quite a good deal, and I think we marked that last night as not recommended. but that is a very good deal. So I will actually, I want to update this one, definitely. Give me 2 seconds, because that's a really, really good deal. This is actually a great deal. And this is down from 1349. That's a 4060. Am I missing something here? This is, oh, this is the different version. Okay, so this is the Ryzen 5 version, but that's a great deal. So I'm just updating our sheets, because whenever a good deal that's amazing comes up that I will recommend, I do want to make sure we've got the correct links for everyone, so everyone buys the best laptop that they can today. So I'm just going to quickly update this link. Just bear with me. So this is, if you haven't seen below the video, we've got our links to all the deals that we can find today. So I'm in the gaming one right now, which is this one. And I'm just going to quickly update the Legion Slim 516 to make sure we have the right version there. And I'm going to mark it green because it is a fantastic deal. So that means we do recommend it. Okay. And Legion 5, that's the right one. That's the right one. Let me just make sure it goes to the right place, because right now we're sending people to the wrong place, which we do not want. Our job on this channel is to help people get the best laptop at the best possible price. That's our job, so we've got to make sure we're doing that. So let me just see if that one's okay. So between right now, with the prices at $899 for this one, and then let me bring up the Pro. No, that's still going to the wrong link. Just apologies. 2 seconds. Just want to make sure we get that is the correct link. Okay. Give me just sorry guys, I just want to make sure we've just got a link update, because we just found a really good deal on the Legion. The Legion, this is $899 for the Legion Slim 516. Fantastic deal, so I want to make sure that is correct. Okay, and I want to mention that's on sale. Nope, still going to the wrong place. I'm just going to manually update it, because that's ridiculous. Just 2 seconds, folks. I'll be right back. Okay. Legion Slim 516. Okay. And I'm going to bring that right up the front, because that's an absolutely fantastic deal. Great deal on that one. Okay, so what I mean here, you'll see here, now I've updated it on our gaming sheet, and you can see where we update these all throughout the day, okay? So Ryzen 5 for $899, that's a great deal. And back to the question, the person was asking between this one, which is the Ryzen 5 version on sale, and the Legion 5 Pro 16, which is this one. I just want to make sure you guys understand the two that we're talking about. So this is a much more expensive one. It's got a 4070 versus a 4060. They do come in a range of different graphics cards, but this one is just, I wouldn't buy this today at this price, that's for sure. There's better 4070s out there today. You can get if you check our sheet, the M16 has a 4070, it's on a big sale. I would get that over this, but it's bigger, it's heavier, not by a huge amount, but it's definitely there. And this one will have, you just won't feel that it's getting as hot to the touch, which is really nice. If you don't move the laptop around as much, this is a better one to get, but as you can see, certainly not at Best Buy, it's not on sale. Okay, next one, let's keep going. All right, there's a Newegg version on sale too, I should add that. Let's check the Newegg one, okay. So Newegg, this is great. You guys are helping us update our deals list. And I shouldn't tell you guys this, but we have a major announcement coming about our deals in 2 weeks, which is going to be super, super cool. And basically, we're completely changing these sheets to something else that I think you guys are really going to like. And as you know, on this channel, it's really composed of 2 groups of people. We've got people who've come from a film background and people who've come from a programming background. And us programmers think there's a better way of updating deals than manually doing it. So a lot more is going to come on how we're going to make the deals. Look, you should be logging on in the morning. All the deals across all these sites aggregated into one place. You can subscribe to a mailing list to get the deals sent in your email box every day. And I'm not referring to just blatant marketing emails from sites like Newegg or Best Buy, I'm referring to a very curated ones, the ones that we've actually tested and we know are good, and we'll send those out with stuff like, you know, some of the issues, the pros and cons with the laptop, etc. But hang tight, we've got an announcement coming on that. So Legion 5 Pro. So apparently it's a good Newegg discount. Let's see that one. Okay, Legion 5. Where is this discount, this gentleman's saying? I can't see any good discounts here. Legion 5 Gen. No, I'm not seeing any good discounts over at Newegg on the Legion 5. Okay, so back for gaming laptops. Let's just round this off for a second. Great deal on the Slim 516 with an RTX 4060. That's a fantastic deal if you're looking for a budget gaming laptop. My favorite one would be the Legion Slim 7. As I said, even though you're paying a good amount more for the Slim 7, please don't think it's like one level above the Slim 5. The Legion Slim 7 really is about 2 levels above the Slim 5. I've had both here for the last couple of months. Slim 7 is just a much nicer laptop, and I'm hearing this morning you can get it for much cheaper than the amount I've got here for. In fact, let's see what we can get the Legion Slim 7 for. I want to see what's the cheapest price we can get that for. So I'm going to come in here, and these sheets, all of these are below the video you're watching right now. Okay, all the links I'm looking at. So it does start at 1.3, but let's add it to cart and let's see what we can get it for, because this is such an important laptop. This is the AMD version. The Intel gets hotter, louder fan noise, but the AMD limits at 4060. This is probably one of my favorite laptops of the year. It's a joy to use, and its keyboard is amazing. I want to see what we can get, how cheap we can get this today. Okay, apply discounts. So we've got the Honey. This is Honey that's running right now. It's a browser plugin. It checks a lot of different coupons. You guys should be using it on a day like today. Regardless of the deals we've put up, you should still be using Honey just to double check. So I want to see how cheap we can get this, and then I'm going to go through my favorite gaming laptops. While I do, Gigabyte G6 KF accepting back orders. I don't love the Gigabyte G6. I've got to be honest. It looks beautiful, by the way. It's a really good looking laptop, but it looks really premium. It didn't do that well for us. So I'm seeing here 1,289. Let me see. Let's add this discount. Let's see what we can get. Apply my discounts. What is this one? Of course, the button doesn't seem to work. 1,289 is the cheapest. Okay. Still a bit pricey for Black Friday, but it's such a great laptop. One of the things I like about this one is it's very cheap to upgrade it. You can configure it on Lenovo's site, which I'm on right now, with a better screen, which is a really good screen for developers actually, or anyone doing with color work. You can upgrade it to 32 gig of memory, more storage, really cheap. It's like $20 for the screen upgrade, and the RAM upgrade isn't that much more than it. So I'm just going to update this one to 1,289 because that's a much better price. Give me 2 seconds. Legions, and apologies guys, normally I would have, as I said, others here helping me out, but I don't today because we're filming a little bit earlier than we normally would be. And that should update that one. There we go, 1,289. Okay, so for gaming laptops, this is a 14-inch one, but this is 16. I would start with the Legion 516. I think that's great for 4060. If you want something more premium, Legion Slim 7. If you want something more powerful with an RTX 4070, the Asus M16 is on a good sale. The Slim 7i, I wouldn't, that's not my favorite to be honest. And then I would go straight in for these ones here. These are ordered by price, so I don't want to change it. But if you want something really powerful, Slim Pro 7, Strix Scar 16, Alienware X16 R1, love all of those three. My personal preference would be the Legion Slim Pro 7. And I think it's got an RTX 4090 this morning. I think it's about 2,300 as I recall. Let's go have a look at it. Or the Alienware X16 R1. Those would be my gaming laptops of choice. They're a joy to use. They really are. So here, this is for 12191. What have we got on it? We have an RTX 4080. So that is correct. Okay. So yeah, so 4080, I'd get this one, and then 4090, you're really into these two territory for gaming. I want to kind of switch from gaming. We've talked a lot about high-powered laptops. Sound's a bit low. Sound is still a bit low. Oh my gosh, guys, I've upped the sound so many times. Okay, I'm tempted to bring the mic even further down. Let me just... Okay, the mic is like right on me here. So surely it can't be low now. That's MacBooks. Let's talk about MacBooks. The M1 Max with 64 gig, 2 terabytes on B&H for $2,499. Okay, and I want to show you where I'm reading this from so you guys know. So if you come over to the channel, just so you can find, where to find our deals. So this live stream that you're watching right now, Max with 64
down
gig,
below the live
2
stream,
terabytes on B&H for $2,499.
It's right.
Okay.
It's here.
And I want to show you where
You'll
I'm
hear
reading
see
this
the
from,
deals just
so you
right
guys
below.
know. So if we go in and we're going to click MacBook deals, and I know the one. So if you come over to the channel, about this is a B&H deal. Okay. So here we're talking about the M1 Max 16. This is a deal. There's a couple of them going on at B&H. It's in column K, so apologies, it's quite a little bit far along. And if you click on this one, let's follow the link. So this is a B&H has some great deals on some of the older MacBooks, incredible deals. So this is the M1 Max chip 2021 for $2,400. Let's talk about this one. And they've got a couple of different options. You'll be able to configure them down here. Okay, the gentleman was asking about the 64 gig, but 32. First of all, on 64 gig of RAM, I just got to be honest, there are slim use cases that you're going to need 64 gig. It's okay if you're 32 gig and occasionally you need more memory, because on a modern computer, it's not going to slow down that much. And you might find you get 99 to 98% of the performance on 32 gig of memory of 64, and you might be just spending more money for nothing. It's very slim, the 64 gig use cases in today. And a lot of people think the laptop massively slows down when you run out of memory. It does not, guys. It's the biggest fallacy going around the internet right now for people who don't know about computer science. It'll just do a bit of paging. Paging isn't that slow in today's day and age. But again, depends what you're doing. It really does. If you're doing something like rendering using unified memory, because the 3D acceleration does use the same memory as the rest of the computer, then yes, not having enough memory will be more of an issue. So, but I don't think that many people are doing that. So this laptop overall for $1,000 off, what a great price. I mean, this is great, guys. If you were to get the M3 Max today, and by the way, check out this. There's a great sheet on it. I'm going to return my one. We have the highest end 16-inch M3 Max. We're using it right now. It gets really warm, FYI. I can touch it. It's this laptop here, the M3 Max. This is the highest end one that costs like $4,000. There's a great sale on that one today. If you click on the link here, you'll find it over at Best Buy. So let's compare the two. Should you buy the M1 Max 16-inch and save some money, or should you buy the current gen? So this is the M3. So this one you get 48 gig of memory. That one's only 32. As I said, going above 32, it's rare that you're going to need this. With the Best Buy membership, which costs like $50 a year and you can unsubscribe straight away pretty much, it's $3,800. So you're getting $200 off. I always talk about this, guys. Please avoid buying a custom configuration of a Mac. Please. It's much better to move up to a different model, because these base models, this is what would be called a base configuration. It's one that Apple just sells as a package. You don't have to customize it. They often have these $200 discounts off it. So let's talk about it. $3,800 for the M3 Max for 16-inch. You got extra memory, which is nice, but I don't think is that necessary. Or $2,400, unless you're a YouTuber like me, or you're really doing, even guys, for video editors, the performance of these two, because of the memory bandwidth limit, it's pretty close. It's very similar, even though one's much older. You will notice the M1 Max, it will feel less snappy. Like if you open two applications at the same time, the M3 Max will open that application. We've tested this, by the way. The M3 Max will open at about half the speed. It depends on the application. That's a generalization, but it does open. It's snappier. It has much faster single core performance. But then again, by the way, the M2, which is in between this M1 Max and the M3, it kind of was in between the two in terms of single core. M1 Max, when it came out, the single core M1 Max isn't the fastest, right? It's still snappy enough for most people, but the M2 kind of it really did well in terms of raising the single core. But between these two, for 2,400 versus almost $4,000, even if it's got $200 off, I personally, I would get the B&H model. I'd get the M1 Max. I really will. I just think most people, the difference in performance between these two, you're getting, I would say, 96% of the M3 Max if you buy the M1 Max. It's most people just aren't going to notice the difference. And if you do, you're doing, say, 3D rendering on a Mac, which very few people are doing, or you're doing AAA gaming on a Mac, which nobody's doing, you know who you are. You should be buying the M3 Max. You know that, right? But for everyone else, the M1 Max, I mean, it's basically the same laptop. You've got, this one has Wi-Fi 6, not 6E. Who cares? This one has HDMI 2.0, not 2.1. Few people are going to have an issue with that. But other than that, I mean, most people, as I said, this is like 96% of the M3 and it's much cheaper. So that's a long-winded way of describing the two. Black Hat, hi from India. Love India. I was there last year. Bangalore, Mumbai, love it. I've got some of the footage in my videos. I cannot wait to go back to Bangalore. I have actually, there are people on the team in this YouTube channel who are in India, actually. We have 2 folks in India who are actively working on the team. Strix G16 for $1,099 on Amazon. Let's check this one out. I didn't actually review the G16 this year because I've used these chassis quite a bit before, and the problem with all Asus gaming laptops, G14, M16, G16, the only one that doesn't feel obnoxiously warm to the touch, particularly in casual use, is the Strix Scar 16. What you notice, G16 Asus, I just find these laptops, the only way I would buy, me personally, would buy an Asus gaming laptop other than the Strix Scar would be I would buy the G14 if I wanted some to move around. I wanted something small but powerful, and I would plug it in external monitor, keyboard, and mouse at home because its only real problem is it gets warm to the touch. All of them. The G14, which is the 14-inch, 16, which I'm showing you right now. Is this? I can't see the sale for it. G16 sale $1,099. The only problem with these is that they get very warm to the touch. Their fan noise is actually pretty, for everyday use, where you're going to notice fan noise. You're not going to notice fan noise as much when gaming because the game is loud. But you definitely notice these getting very warm to the touch, so just be aware of that. For RTX 4060, yeah, it's a good laptop. This is a good laptop. The reason I'm going is because on our gaming laptop sheet, which I had open and I seem to have closed, the guys are here. Just 2 seconds. Let me just have a look. The gaming laptop sheet, you can get an RTX 4060 this morning for $899, this Legion Slim 516. So I would have a look through to see if you really need this one. This one does have the Intel chip. Wow, it's got a very powerful Intel chip. So this one will run circles around the other one in terms of performance. But this is really powerful in extreme multi-core performance, which I think very few people are going to notice the difference, honestly, between this Intel i7-3650HX. It will give you a bit, it's going to be a little bit faster in gaming for sure than the 7840HS. It will. So it should perform better. Sorry, apologies. I'm talking about this one. Yeah, the 7640HS. So you'll probably get a bit more performance in gaming because of that CPU. But basically, here's the skinny. This Ryzen 5 7640HS, which is an RTX 4060 configuration, $899, that one's about here. If you jump up to the G16, you're probably going to go here because of the CPU performance. But this CPU has this much performance that you're just not going to need. So you could get it. It's a good laptop. I think it's totally fine. But you got to ask yourself, do you really need it for that extra $200? Give me 2 seconds. I just got to let some of our team members want to come in. They don't want to disturb the stream. So 2 seconds. I will be back. I've just been talking for ages on mute. See, this is what happens when I'm alone in the studio and no one else is here to actually catch this up. That was very embarrassing.
You want help?
Thank you, that would be very helpful. Apparently I was just talking on mute since I let you guys in for a couple minutes. Maybe if you want to just open up the deal sheets for our affiliate ones, and there's some, I've been updating them and whatnot, just checking that pricing is good and whatnot. So Ethan is here and Taylor are here. All right. So, hi Josh, I ordered the ROG M16 i9 4070 for $1,500 and it arrives today from Best Buy, but Best Buy is also running a discount on the ROG 16 at i9 4060. Which one is better for both programming and study? So Best Buy, these are two, it looks like these are two Best Buy configs. Let me just, I want to have a look at these because when you talk about programming, so the person is talking about programming here, and these are the two M16s at Best Buy. One of the big difference in programming is going to be you don't want a big screen laptop with a low resolution display like this WUXGA or Full HD. You want a decent resolution display. So this is the 4070 model of the M16 here, which we got. You might just want to check some of the prices, by the way. Okay. He has this sorry, I'm just talking to Ethan off camera here, guys. Very unprofessional. There is this sheet here. Ethan has all the links, the automation one. Oh, okay. And it has all the prices and it updates all the other sheets, basically. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. But just make sure when it says, you got to type in manually on sale if it is on sale. Anything more than $100 would consider a sale. You're seeing business management happening right here in front of you guys. So we're talking about RTX 4070. I just want to check the screen. We're talking about for a program. Yeah, so this is a decent, I would say the minimum viable product in terms of a high resolution screen that's high enough for coding. The reason you want a high resolution screen for coding is for clarity. The higher the resolution, the clearer things look. And when you're talking about computer code, you're talking about a lot of small text. So you don't want it to look fuzzy, you want it to look clear. And this is, for a 16-inch laptop, the minimum screen resolution. You don't want any lower than that. So I want to have a look at the M16. I'm going to have a look now for the M16, but the other version, the 4060, which apparently this gentleman got. Or was it the G16? Let me just make sure I get the comment correctly. It may have been the G16. I don't see a G16 here. Oh, here we go. 4060. Okay. So this is, you're talking $300 cheaper here. I just want to check, and this is again for a programmer. Show full specs. Nope. Do not buy this for a programmer. This is a full HD display, 1920 by 1080. So you're stretching that many pixels across a 16-inch panel. Small text that you're going to be using a lot as a coder, it's going to look pixelated. It's just not going to look sharp. That's just terrible. This is an absolute no for a coder, sorry. This is the kind of resolution for a coder on a 13-inch screen, not a 16. So that's an absolute no for a coder. Let's move on from that one. This is the G16 at Best Buy with the 4060. So coders don't buy that. You should be buying the M16. All right. Next one. They keep saying I'm very quiet. I have raised the volume. That's on +10, by the way, on the camera. Oh. The mic is like right here. People keep saying this. I can't even raise this anymore. We're like as loud as we can get. Do you want to just chuck on your headphones and just listen to the stream and see it? Fine when I was listening to it on the phone, but... Okay, and just see if it. Maybe just listen to the stream on the laptop. All right. Josh, should I buy? A lot of people ask, let's just talk Macs for a second. I'm getting a lot of questions about Macs. And you can see I'm using two Macs here. If anyone's wondering why we're not using PCs for the stream instead of Macs, Macs right now have less fan noise, and you guys are already complaining about not enough audio volume. So the last thing I want to do is have fan noise coming from the laptops. So that's why we're using the Macs here right now in the studio. But doesn't mean there's not a lot of good PCs. There really are. How's the audio? Is it fine, Ethan? Yeah, okay. Is the audio fine? Okay, so Josh, can you quickly talk about the 14.2-inch MacBook M1 Max for portability over the 16-inch for portability, please don't buy the M1 Max, any Max chip in the 14-inch MacBook Pro. I have done it twice. We have a 14-inch M3 Max here right now. I also have the M1 Max 14-inch. I literally was saying to a friend yesterday, the Max just drains battery life in that 14-inch like crazy. It gets significantly warmer to the touch in all use cases. These M3 Max, by the way, particularly the Maxes, they've put in more performance cores now, significantly so. And even though M3 is more efficient, it doesn't counteract the increase in the performance cores that are in the M3 Max chips. So because of that, the M3 Maxes this year get even hotter than they did last year. And you're chucking that in a 14-inch laptop. Just do not do it. It is really bad. Get the 16-inch. Okay. What do I think about the IdeaPad Pro 5 Gen 8 14-inch AMD for programming? I've looked for that laptop for like ages this year and I just couldn't find it. So this is the Lenovo IdeaPad Pro. I know this one really well. I covered tons of these on the channel. Pro 14. I don't think it's available at in the US as I recall. Let's go and have a look if it's available. This is the Pro 5i. This is the which screen size is this? This is 16-inch screen. This person was talking about the 14. These comes in 14 and 16 variants. I worry that is this last year's model? This is the 14-inch. See, it's just not available in the US, I don't think. Yeah, out of stock. Generally, I do like the IdeaPad Pro 5s. There's a 14 and a 16. I actually really like those laptops. They're a great kind of lower mid-range laptop. This is a bit expensive for one, to be honest. I'd like to see these around $800. But they compare very favorably against, I would say they're a one step ahead of, say, a Pavilion Plus 14. I do like them, but I just can't speak about this year's model. Apologies, guys, because I just haven't had one in. Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3, important upgrades in the M2. M1 has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5. Wi-Fi 6E and 6 I know much better. So I have tested like crazy Wi-Fi 6E and 6. The difference is Wi-Fi 6E uses the newer 6 gigahertz band. It does much higher performance, but you really need to be very close to the router. And if you've got the router in a closet or something like that, that will affect it. I found here, and we do have a 6E network here, almost every laptop, even with 6E connectivity, just constantly uses the 5 gigahertz bandwidth, which is Wi-Fi 6, not 6E, and doesn't even use the 6 gigahertz one anyway. So I would say Wi-Fi 6 versus 6E for most people, 99.9% not a big difference. I mean, we have a 2.5 gig internet link. We have Wi-Fi 6E mesh network with a Ethernet backbone on it. They just don't use that. We just rarely find that it uses the 6 gigahertz, if any at all. Like if you force it to use 6 gigahertz, it's pretty short distance. So if you move the laptop around, it might get disconnected or you significantly lose the bandwidth as you move the laptop around. But if you force it, you keep it close, then yes, the 6 gigahertz band is substantially faster. But I think most people, you're going to be fine with it. So this question, by the way, folks, is specifically around whether you should buy like an M1, an older MacBook M1, because the MacBook Pros, the older ones, and we have a great one on our sheet, you'll find it here. So if you come and just make sure you guys know below the video, that's where all our deals are listed. So on our MacBook deal, there's a great one running at B&H right now for the older M1 Max. And what the gentleman is asking is that, hey, when you go to an M1 from an M3, you go down to HDMI 2.0 versus 2.1. You go down to Wi-Fi 6 versus 6E, and you also go down to Bluetooth 5, I believe, not 5.3. Wi-Fi 6E dropped to 6. You're just not going to notice it, honestly. Bluetooth 5 to 5.3, I'm not an expert in, so I don't want to comment on. Okay. Acer Neo 6 Best Buy. Yeah, I know you've asked it 4 times. Normally I wouldn't respond to someone who's spamming comments like this, but you did ask nicely before and I kind of ignored you. We haven't used the Acer Neo 16, to be honest. Let me just have a look at it. I'll just have a look at it from a pure specs perspective. I just want to be clear, we have not had one in, so I don't want to comment too much on it. So you're talking here, Acer Helios Neo 16. Oh yes, I know this one. 4060. This is a big laptop as I recall. So you're getting a 4060, you're getting the 3700HX. So I kind of explained this before. When you talk about a gaming laptop, the Intel processors still perform a little bit better, okay? Up to a point. And when I say that, if you talk about a gaming laptop like the one here, the cheap one with the 4060, we're recommending the Slim 516, when you talk about the difference gaming on this Ryzen processor, the 57640HS, for an RTX 4060, you're getting like this much performance. To go up to an Intel one, you're getting a little bit more. But then when you talk about these, and that's an Intel 13th Gen H series processor. If you talk about the next step up, the HX, that's a completely different bracket of Intel processors. These are known for having much better multi-core performance. You'll see them dominating multi-core benchmarks. But you don't need that many cores. So what happens is you're basically the Ryzen one, Intel one, then the jump, that's Intel H series, to jump to the HX. Yes, it's much faster in benchmarks, but for gaming, you don't notice any real, you're not going to notice that much performance difference at all. So, and the reason I bring that up is this Acer Helios Neo 16, they're both 4060 laptops. The main difference here is this one has the HX processor, which you just don't really notice much of a difference. So it's going to be a little bit faster based on that, but not much more. Then this is WUXGA screen, this is WQXGA. So this one actually has a better screen in terms of, I haven't checked the color accuracy or brightness, but in terms of resolution, this is going to give you a better screen than the other one. My only worry about this one, just heads up on this, is the RTX 4060 may struggle to drive a display with this high resolution. That being said, DLSS 3, which offers frame generation, is very, very good in games that support it, but still, you're not going to get as much use out of this screen with the 4060. And this is, by the way, this is a warning I put on my Slim 7 with AMD that I really like. Same issue. But honestly, it's a nice step up, I would say. It's just, look, it's a bigger, it's a heavier laptop, but it's a nice step up. I'm not seeing anything really. It's a good price. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we might actually add this one to our list afterwards. Acer Zenbook 14X isn't going on sale. Should I just go for the HP Pavilion 14? This is a great question, by the way, that this person's asking. So, funnily enough, the Acer Zenbook 14X, which is the 14.5 inch, not to be confused with the Zenbook 14, it's down here. So this is a sheet that we have below the video. This is our main favorite laptop sheet. This is the ones that we've tested and absolutely love. This one we like. I bought it myself. It frequently goes down to $700, $699. It's not on sale today, just so you can't buy it today, which is weird, but that's just the deal here. Now, compare this to the HP Pavilion Plus 14, which there are some great deals on it today. What you're going to notice here is the Acer Zenbook 14X, it feels like a high quality device. It just feels a little bit more premium. Wow, this is so cheap. I'm going to configure up you got the OLED version of this. Wow, this might be even cheaper. We might need to update our, oh no, it's about the same once you, yeah, $739, okay. Here's the difference here. So this has the Ryzen processor. This is my favorite Ryzen processor. So you can find this laptop if you're looking for it. We have a link to it here, HP Pavilion Plus 14. So a couple of things. The Intel 13th Gen H series, which is their kind of gaming performance series of processors, it will outperform this in CPU tasks. It will. The HP also has, the Zenbook also has a more comfortable keyboard than this laptop. It feels more premium. The HP, on the other hand, has enough performance for most people. Both of them have a little bit of fan noise, so there's no difference there. The keyboard, as I said, is not that good. The HP just looks quite dated. There was one other issue between them. Can you remember the difference? There was the keyboard and the premium filling. Those are the two main differences in favor of the Zenbook 14X. But the HP, in favor of the HP, is it has much better battery life. So if you're okay with a more so-so keyboard, it's usable. It's totally fine. I wrote the entire script of my review on that keyboard. If you don't need the best keyboard and you want more battery life, get the HP. If you want a more premium feeling laptop, you're kind of okay to carry a charger with you, get the Zenbook 14X. And remember, the Zenbook 14X also has a larger display. It's 14.5 inches versus this one is 14. So that's really the two differences. Don't kind of beat yourself up this about whether you should buy this HP Pavilion Plus 14 or the Zenbook 14X, which again, just to show you which two these are, that's this one here we're talking about on sale for $739, and the Zenbook, which we have for programmers for $999. The reason we're listing it for programmers, by the way, is it has a 14.5 inch screen, so you'll see a little bit more code versus the Pavilion Plus. It also has a more powerful CPU processor, and especially the 13th gen in this one, it really turbo boosts really quickly. So for quick code compiles, that one's going to be a bit better. It also has a more comfortable keyboard, the Zenbook 14X. So all of those are good things for coders. But, you know, I just wouldn't get kind of rush and put pressure on yourself choosing between these two today, because neither of these two are on Black Friday sales. They're not. They're just not. So the way you should be deciding is, hey, do you want more battery life with a worse keyboard and lesser? And it's not a terrible keyboard. It's just a mid-end keyboard, right? It's mid-range. Or do you want the better keyboard, lower battery life of the Zenbook 14X and slightly faster processor and bigger screen? Those are the differential factors, and you should decide which one you want first, because they're both in the similar price range. And if you do want the Zenbook 14X, just wait till it's on sale for $700. Okay. Okay, and guys, just help each other on this. Dell XPS 15, XPS 17 is thermal's a real issue. Oh, guys, we love Dell, but had a bit of a rough year now, Dell. On the XPS 15, thermals is a mega issue, yes. Basically, I'll just show you which ones. And there are two Dells we recommend right now and we really like, but I'll show you them. So XPS 15. What's happened is the XPS 15 was never great at cooling laptops. It hasn't in its entire history. Both the current chassis, which has been around for about 4 years, and the prior chassis had cooling problems. This chassis came out 4 years ago. They've put increasingly higher performance CPUs inside that generate more heat and do more power draw. But it was already constrained on cooling before. So this is it gets really, really warm to the touch. Dells tend to favor the laptop getting warm and not running the fan as much versus running it more and having louder fan noise. So it is quiet, but it gets really warm to the touch. A fellow YouTuber friend of mine who was planning to use this as his main video editing laptop, I won't say who it is, actually ended up getting a high version of this. No, he ended up getting it for his wife, but I think he ended up returning it because of the heat. It just gets really hot. When you talk about the XPS 17, which is the bigger version, the 17-inch version, and by the way, XPS 17, it's kind of got the same size as the 16. When you talk about that one, it could kind of handle the heat very well. The XPS 17, I'll bring it up for you so you can have a look. It could handle the heat when it came out 4 years ago. Could handle the heat maybe 3 years ago, but now when you're talking Intel 13th gen processors inside, even that laptop, we tested it and we used it. We've got a video we're trying to do on best creator laptops, and this is in the video. We just found that it just got noticeably warmer to the touch than other creator laptops this year. So that's why you're not seeing us kind of push the XPSs right now. Or we don't push anything, by the way, but we just can't really recommend it. If you are looking for a Dell, the ones that we really do like, the Alienware X16, R1, you'll find it in our gaming laptop sheet here. You'll also find it in our best laptops for 2023 sheet. It's down the bottom under gaming. We love this laptop. Make sure, I'm not sure if all of them come with the Cherry MX low profile keyboards. They don't. Ethan's saying they don't. Make sure if you buy this laptop, first of all, you should get it with the, I'm going to show this, where is it? The Alienware X16R1. If you buy it, my big conclusion that I got interrupted with, make sure you buy it with that keyboard, because that keyboard is insanely good. It is by far the best keyboard on a laptop ever in the history of mankind. It is so good. The Alienware X16, here it is. We like it with the Cherry MX keyboard. It's this one here, Cherry MX. Ultra low profile. The only thing about it is This keyboard is loud. It's a mechanical one. You do not want to be sitting in a school classroom or an office environment unless it's like an open plan office that's loud. Using that keyboard, it'll annoy everybody. But if you're just using a gaming laptop at home, this keyboard, like, there are issues with the Dell, right? The screen isn't the brightest, which is really weird in a laptop this expensive. And that's one issue with the XPS, not the XPS, the Dell Alienware X16. What was the other issue? Oh, it gets very hot to the touch. But because the keyboard is so good, in this office in particular, many people just constantly reach for it and want to use it. And it looks good too. It's got individual, the RGB on it just looks so amazing. So that's one of the Dells that we do recommend. And the other one, there's a good deal going on at the moment, I believe, on the X14. That's actually going on sale. We found that last night. That's a nice little gaming laptop. I know a lot of it's still pretty pricey with an RTX 4060 versus some of the ones we've seen today with the 4060, but I enjoyed using it. It does have a little bit of fan noise though. It's a very small laptop. That's not true. It's actually quite a big form factor, but it's quite thin, so it does have a bit of fan noise, but we don't mind that one. All right, let's get back to it. What do you think about the M3 Pro, 36 gig of memory, 1 terabyte SSD? Would you mind, Ethan? Would you mind just turning around his camera because it's giving me notifications on the watch? Thanks. So we're asking, okay, so here's the question. This is from Boris. What do you think about the M3 Pro 36 1 terabyte? Plan on using it for work and college. It will serve me about 5 years. Computer science. Good use case for the M3 Pro. Like it a lot. He hasn't specified if it's a 14 or 16. I'm assuming if it's for college, you would get the 14-inch. I really like that a lot. M3 Pro, I know I ripped Apple a lot in my Apple video, but that's for certain type of users. As I said in the video, it is worse, the M3. But for programmers, the M3 Pro is great. I have one here. I have lots of them here. The M3 Pro, it actually gets noticeably cooler to the touch when under load compared, this is an M2 Pro on this side. It gets noticeably cooler to touch, has fantastic battery life. What they did, which kind of helps programmers, is they shifted some performance cores over to efficient cores. There's still plenty of performance cores for programming, plenty, especially in the model you're suggesting, which is the 36 gig of memory model. I hope this isn't the M3. Okay, 36 gig of memory, that worries me. Better be the M3 Pro. Never get the M3 Max. I wouldn't say never, but do not get the M3 Max in a 14-inch laptop. So we're talking about the M3 Pro with more memory. Great laptop for programmers. It really is. I would say that is my absolute favorite programming laptop. In fact, on our sheet, when we talk about best laptop for programmers, you'll see it there. It's in column G. I think it's just that move from performance to efficient cores. It kind of, as I said, it makes it cooler to the touch. You really don't notice any real loss in performance because the faster M3 chips kind of make up the difference. And it has better battery life. This is the #1 coding laptop out there. And if you're able to upgrade it to the 36 gig of memory model, congratulations, well done. That's a fantastic option for coding. You're very lucky, especially for a college student. I'm just going to shut the door 2 seconds. Okay. Hi Josh, please suggest best portable, best battery life, 16-inch laptop for stock trading. I use Windows. Okay. You don't need anything that high performance for stock trading. Good Lord, Ethan, what was our good? We had a lot of problems with 16-inch laptops getting good battery life this year. We did. Legion Slim 5 AMD. Legion Slim 7 AMD had good battery life, I think, or decent enough. And that should be a good laptop for stock trading. So if we come here, I feel like I'm going back in time talking about stock trading because, as most of you guys know, I used to be a banker on, well, I was in the tech department, but I was at a bank on Wall Street. Okay, so I just want to bring up my overall best laptop lists. That's programmers, students, 14-inch, best MacBook deals. That's MacBook deals, we don't need 2 of them. Gaming, best laptops. Okay, so if below the video, that's where you'll find links to all these sheets with the deals that we're trying to keep up to date, and we will, after this video, we're going to go through and just update them once more. And it doesn't matter, like if you click on the links and the price is like $100 off, that's great. But they're probably going to be here this price or better, is what I would say. So you, as a stock trader, the Slim 7 AMD, you'll see it as our overall one of our top laptops of the year. This one, it's got a bright screen. It's got the AMD processor, which gives you better battery life than the Intel. So as a stock trader, I would say my favorite one, if your software runs on it, the M3 Pro version of the MacBook Pro 16, that would probably be my favorite one for you. If you cannot, and we should put this on the best overall ones, that would be my favorite. If your software doesn't run on that, you need a PC. This one, the Legion Slim 7, it's pretty portable, great keyboard. It doesn't get too hot to the touch, particularly probably for what you're doing. Nice big screen. It is on the pricier side, right, for a 16-inch with these kind of components, like $1,289. But, and this is, by the way, you've got to run, there's some coupons on offer today for the Legion. Sorry, I'm pointing over here. We've got a big screen here. There's some coupons on sale today for the Legion Slim 7. I would get that one. And FYI, it has good battery life for a PC. Nothing like the MacBook Pro 16. That's much better battery life. No 16-inch PC laptop that we tested has amazing battery life. So temper your expectations. This has good one. You'll probably get a solid 8 hours of use. But don't expect that it's going to have MacBook levels of battery life. If you do start running a lot of intense applications on it, the performance is going to drop probably to 4 or 5 hours. It's not going to be like a MacBook Pro 16. Okay, that's stock trading. It's a good question that someone's asked it here. Sahil asks, Asus G14 or Legion Slim 514 for programming and 3D simulations. Which CPU and GPU combo should I go for? So most 3D simulations you're probably going to run is probably going to use more the GPU, and most of these have the same. They've both got 4060s, so that's not a deciding factor. He's really talking about this laptop here, the G14, which we love, versus the Slim 514, which is over here. Why is this so far away? Okay, because I put my favorite ones towards the front. Yeah, so here's the difference between the two. This is a very common question, and I always do this. I start talking about, like, I'm going to give you guys the answer, and then I get distracted and want to show something on screen. So let me bring them up on screen first, and then I'll give you guys the answer. So we're talking about the Slim 514, which is this one. Actually, I'm going to use the links because that's how we should be doing it. That's the G14, Slim 514. Okay. So we're talking about the difference between the two here. Both have very good screens, so don't use that as a deciding factor between them. The main difference is this. This one, the Legion Slim 514, it doesn't get as hot to the touch. In just everyday use, if you're a coder, someone like that, this one's going to feel a lot more comfortable to use, the Slim 514. It just will. It doesn't get as hot to the touch. Actually, I want to temper that one, even that one. But the G14 has a much more comfortable keyboard. So again, as a coder, one's got a more comfortable keyboard. So I would say this. If you have a laptop right now that you're coding on, and it gets a bit warm, and you're okay with that, and it's not distracting, get the G14. I think that's a much better all-round laptop. It is a smaller form factor than this one. This is a 14.5 inch, but it's actually even bigger than a 14.5 inch because of, like, it's just got a really weird, the chassis is big on this one. It's a big laptop. So it's significantly less portable than the G14. The G14 this year I really like. I owned last year's G14. I also have this year's. This year's for casual use and for just light use, like typing up some code and you're not doing compiles. The G14 is actually pretty much dead quiet. It's really good. And remember, when you're doing coding, a lot of the time you're just typing up code, you're debugging through some algorithms. You're not actually doing, like, compiling or anything, or you're not running test cases. So because of that, you know, this laptop actually performs really well because it goes back to basically no fan noise when you're doing that. This is a great one. This one as well, like, the main downside about it, the G14, is it just gets warm to the touch. If you're going to plug it in at home with an external keyboard, monitor, and mouse, then it negates the fact it feels warmer to the touch, and I would absolutely get the G14. The only reason to get the Legion Slim 514 over it, I think, is if you really don't like a warm feeling laptop and you're predominantly going to be working off the laptop itself. It's got a slightly bigger display, right? Display is beautiful on it, but as I said, its keyboard is worse. Have a look down here on our gaming laptop comparisons. These two we got in and we compared like crazy. You'll see our ratings on the two, between the two down here. If you scroll down, CPU performance. We don't have this done, by the way, on all our recommendation sheets, but for ones we did big videos on, we do actually have the comparisons here. So you'll see the difference between the two. So fan noise and heat, you see the Legion Slim 5 did much better with a score of 3, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. First fan noise, and G14 didn't do so well because it just gets really warm to the touch. Upgradability, the G14 did better. Portability, the G14 did better. 5 is the max score, by the way. Battery life about the same. Look and feel, the G14 did better. Speakers, the Slim 5 14. So you can find this sheet, by the way, again, below the video. Alrighty, I'm confused. There's so many good questions, guys. I'm confused on what SSD storage I should get. Can you briefly talk about which SSD to buy for a MacBook? Also, do you know anything about how long Apple support M1, and should I really get MacBook? Wow, this is a lot of questions about MacBooks. So let's just open up Apple's page. It's starting to get cold in here, isn't it, Nathan? Mm-hmm. It's getting really cold in here, guys. Let me just turn off the fan, just 2 seconds. One of the best things about this studio, and the worst actually, but in all seriousness, one of the best things about the studio is that we have air conditioning units out over there, and they're ducted in here, so you don't hear a lot of noise from the air conditioning unit while we're filming, but we can actually control the air, which is really nice. In the old studio, the air conditioning unit was like right behind me, so I couldn't actually turn it on while I was filming, and it would get so hot or so cold, it was awful. So the first thing that the person was asking was about SSDs for Macs and what you should get. Now, I think the most hated but correct answer in all of tech is it depends. And I know people hate hearing that because it feels like we've cheapened out, but it does depend on what you're doing on the laptop. I think when it comes to SSDs in particular, and I'm just going to bring up an M3 Pro MacBook Pro 14-inch, and I'm going to talk about SSDs in general, and I'll also talk about the MacBook. I always focus on spending your money on something that cannot be upgraded. If you're going to upgrade something, spend the money on something that you cannot do anything about later on. Even though it's annoying, an SSD, you can either store files in the cloud. If you've got a fast enough internet connection, they'll just come down when you need them. Or you can add like an external SSD, okay? So, whereas with memory, particularly on an Apple laptop, you can't upgrade it later on. There's nothing you can do. So if you have money to spend, I would prefer you got a bit more memory than SSD, up to a point. Once you start getting to these laptops, which have 18 gig standard, that's probably enough. That memory, focus on memory really is more on if you're getting, say, a MacBook Air with 8 gig, or if you're getting the awful M3 version of the MacBook, which is the one that comes with 8 gig of memory. This is the MacBook Pro, this one. This comes with 8 gig of memory. So with these ones that have too low memory, I would focus on getting memory first, can't be upgraded later on at the expense of more storage. If you have at least 16 or 18 gigs of memory, now I think you can start to go, hey, how much storage do I need? And I'm going to give you a vague guide, okay? I don't want to give you a specific guide because, as I said, it depends on what you're going to use. So when you talk about storage, I would say this, 512 gig is really enough for people who are not going to do something that requires very large files. If you're doing video editing, 512 gig is terrible. And I watched this video by this girl who was very excited about her new MacBook, and they convinced her to buy Apple. This is the M3 version with 8 gig of memory and 512 gig of storage. I'm seriously going to write to her, post a public comment that I will pay for her upgrade to the correct M3 Pro version. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. 512 gig is going to be fine if you're not dealing with a lot of very large files. So the kind of people who might be dealing with a lot of large files, if you're programming or doing data science and you're keeping some of the actual data on your laptop and the data sets are very large, you may find that 512 gig is not enough. If you're doing a lot of photo editing, right, for very large photos, you might find 512 gig is not enough. If you're doing video editing, certainly 512 gig is not enough. So for those use cases, you want to strongly consider 1 terabyte. Now, that should now be enough for most people. The people where that still won't be enough, and DJs as well. My favorite, used to be a DJ for many years. soundtracks are actually, they don't chew up a lot of memory. So as a DJ, you could probably get away with 512 gig or 1 terabyte is totally fine. But 1 terabyte is probably going to be enough for most people. When 1 terabyte starts to fall off and just not be good enough, and you really need to look at 2 or 4, is when you're talking about cases such as you're a professional photographer, you have lots of different clients, you're going out, you're snapping, 1,000 high resolution photos per shoot, and you're doing multiple shoots. You might be doing 2 shoots a day. You're working 10 days in a 2-week period. That's a lot of files. And if you're working just off a laptop, you might want to consider higher. That being said, for many professionals, once you start dealing with those kind of situations, and you're really in the professional arena, it's kind of much better to actually have a NAS and bring your laptop back and edit, whether it's the videos or photos, because they use a lot of data off a NAS than it is to edit it off a local drive, or you plug in a drive, because these get so expensive, $1,000. I mean, you could buy like a 2-bay SSD RAID 0 NAS for this kind of price, and it's probably going to have more storage in it than this. NASs are going to be upgradable to much more storage. So I think, I'll give you a use case where I had 2 terabytes. In fact, this laptop here has 2 terabytes. I was traveling a lot last year, and I'm making YouTube videos. We might have 3 or 4 videos going at the same time. Each of ours uses around 300 gig of files for each of our videos. So if we're doing 3 or 4 at the same time and I'm traveling a lot, I don't have access to a NAS. So I made sure that this laptop had 2 terabytes. So just to wrap up here, 512 gig, good enough for most people. Photo editors, video editors. There was one other example. Data scientists who keep large data sets on their laptops, 1 terabyte, I would say minimum for you guys. Gamers as well, 1 terabyte would be much better because games take up a lot of storage, but this is a Mac we're talking about here, so there's not a lot of gaming. And then 2 terabyte or 4 terabyte, that's more of a very bespoke use case. You're talking about professional video editors or photographers who are moving around a lot, need to use their computer, and they're just not in a studio space where they can use something external storage like a NAS. That's done. Okay. Hi Josh, Max Weber asks, are there any Windows laptops that don't have bottom air intakes for people who use the laptop on the bed? Oh, what a question, Max. I used to use my laptop a lot on the bed because I had a very bad back for a while, or on the couch. So the razor blade actually sucks heat through the keyboard. So it goes through the keyboard, but it pumps it out the bottom. If you're using the laptop on a blanket, that's going to be a problem. This is rough, honestly. I would say, and it's Windows laptops, maybe the Asus G14, they pump air out the side, don't they? They do, but they still suck it down the bottom. I hate to say it, Max, this is where like MacBooks, which just, they don't need as much cooling to do similar tasks to Windows laptops. You might want to consider one of them. Other than that, if we're talking about laptops that don't, particularly Windows ones, that don't need a lot of fans, the one I would look for is anything with a Ryzen 7 7840U, or I think the other one is 7640U processor. So you're looking for the U for U series, that's their low wattage one, and you want to make sure the third digit 7840, the 4 is a 4 not a 3, that's their latest Zen 4. Those ones are very efficient when it comes to heat and cooling. You don't need a lot of heat and cooling for them. The laptops that I have in my list for best laptops, so we're talking again PC laptops that don't need a lot of airflow because the person is using this mainly on a bed and you're using kind of on a blanket. I know it seems an odd use case, but if you've had, like I had a bad back and you're doing that a lot, that's the way to go. The one I would say here with that particular processor, you can see them here, not this one, not the Acer Zenbook 14, the 7730U, that's not as efficient. Actually, we should mention that one. Even though this is the older Zen 3 processor, that's still actually, it doesn't get very warm to the touch at all. And when it doesn't get warm to the touch, it doesn't need as much cooling, so you don't need as much airflow. So the 7840U, this Pavilion Plus would suit that need. But the one I really like, which isn't listed here, is the Framework laptop with AMD. That one doesn't need that much cooling, honestly. So that one's a pretty good one as well. So this is the Framework laptop with AMD. But I personally, if it was me in your situation, I would probably get the Legion Slim 7 with AMD. I have that listed here. I would get that one, this one. I would get the Acer Zenbook 14, even though it uses the older, as I said, Ryzen Zen 3 processor. This one we've found just, it doesn't get warm at all. Only note of this one, you'll see the 2 stars there. This one, you may need to replace the Wi-Fi card on it. It's not overly hard to do, and because we've been recommending it so strongly, and it has that issue, we're actually coming out with a short we're working on right now. It should be out next week to show you how you can quickly change the Wi-Fi card, and it's not that hard. And just for those who just recently joined us, these are laptops that, Windows laptops that don't have a lot of heat or fan noise because the person's using it in an environment where they just can't have a lot of airflow going through the laptop. So I'm saying Legion Slim 7, anything with the Ryzen 7 7840U processor tends to be very good for that. They don't have a lot of heat, don't have a lot of fan noise. Or worst case, this Acer Zenbook 14 is also a good one for low heat, low fan noise if you want PC laptop. Okay. Gosh Lord, we have 232 people watching. This is insane. I haven't even eaten breakfast, guys. It is like almost 11 here. I feel like I need to take a break for like 15 minutes and grab a bite to eat and come back. But we should just keep rolling. Okay, so just I mentioned this 1,000 times on this video below on this live stream. If you go to the channel, okay, just go to YouTube. Just below the channel, here's the live stream right now. Almost. Just below here, if you click more, that's where you'll find all the deals that we're doing. And not only, we're trying to solve here, the whole purpose of this channel is solve 2 things for you. One is which laptop should you buy, and the next is which deal should you buy on the laptop. These sheets are very curated, so these are the ones that we like the most here. And so what you'll find is you read them kind of left to right, the ones we like the most, and we factor in both how much we like the laptop and how good the deal is. These tend to be on the left side, and then if you scroll along, you'll find other ones. So this is the gaming laptop sheet, but we have ones here, you can find it. This is for programmers. This one is for students, and you'll find all these links down below the video. 14-inch, this one's MacBook deals, and then our overall best laptops. Okay, let's keep going. Someone says it's 7 p.m. here. Hello. Yes, hello to you too. Hi, Josh. Oh, this is a great question. Is the MacBook Air M1 with 16 gig of RAM and 512 gigs SSD still relevant and fine for a software engineer? I hate that. I'm sorry. First of all, I don't like upgrading an M1 MacBook Air with 16 gig of memory because it makes it not a base model. Any Apple you buy, most of these base models go on heavy discounts. I wanted to find for you guys what a base model is. A base model is when you go to Mac site, and we're going to choose Air here, and we go buy any of these models here, these ones, these have 8 gig of memory. These ones you tend to find on huge discounts from retailers, maybe $250 to $200 off is not uncommon. Okay, they're off today. A lot of these have discounts today. You'll find them. We have a MacBook deal sheet. Here it is. You'll find it below the video, okay? So you don't want to buy, generally speaking, you don't want to buy higher configs, like upgrading these to 16 gig of memory, because you kind of could step up to something else, like the MacBook Pro 14 with the M3 Pro chip, which I love, which comes with 18 gig of memory. I'm not referring to the M3 model, the M3 Pro model. You can generally just buy that instead. Now, in your case, there is a huge difference between the price of an M1 with 16 gig of memory. Can you even configure it anymore? You can. So it's probably an extra $200 to do that. So here's the problem that I have with what this gentleman is describing. So you're paying $1,200, okay, for a MacBook Air 13 with 16 gig of memory. Now, when you come, I have a lot of problems with this. So it's a lot of money. And the problem with this is by doing that, you're missing out on the deals on the Air because you've upgraded it and you don't find deals on these custom configs. So if you come here for the Air, there's like a $750 one going around right now. So you're effectively paying for $749 Black Friday deal, right? So that one that with 16 gig of memory, now you're paying $1,200. So you're paying $450 for 8 gig of memory. No, I won't let you guys do that. That's ridiculous. So first of all, the MacBook Air 13 M1 versus the M2, the M2 is just so much better. It's a completely redesigned laptop. It has a larger display, and you notice it, especially for coding. Displays matter for coding, especially when you're talking about a very small screen like this. This is going to be annoying to code on. So the MacBook Air M2 is much better because of the display, and at a minimum, I would get that with 16 gig of memory. But other than that, I just think it's not a great laptop for $1,200, honestly. This laptop is really dated in today's day and age. It really is. You've got the big bezels. It looks old. There's laptops with much better screens now. I personally, if it was me and I was coding, I would get this laptop if you're talking about this kind of price range. The Acer Zenbook 14X, it's not on sale today, so don't panic. You can wait for it to go on sale. It regularly goes down to $700 to $800. This comes with 16 gig of memory. It's much cheaper than upgrading the M1 Air with 16 gig. And the only downside, and it's got a better keyboard than the Air. It's got a 14.5-inch OLED display versus the 13.3, so you'll see a lot more code. It's more powerful by a long shot. The Intel 13th Gen 8 series and this is more powerful. There are two issues with this one. It doesn't get that warm to the touch, but you occasionally hear fan noise. It has short battery life. Honestly, for the price difference, get a small USB-C charger, for heaven's sake, like a 45-watt one or maybe a 61. They're tiny. Just bring that with you. It's just $450 to upgrade the M1 Air with 16 gig? No. And I would, even as a software developer, if you want to buy a Mac, the answer is this. Look for the M1 Pro, which came with 16 gig of memory, or the M2 Pro, which came with 16 gig of memory. I've got an M2 Pro here. Just look one from an older one, which you should find, honestly, for around the same price that you're upgrading the M1 Air. And the M1 Air is a 3-year-old laptop anyway. So it's those came with 16 gig of memory. As I said, any of the base models, and these are base models here, any of the base model Macs, they tend to go on heavy discounts. So a MacBook Pro, even an M1 with 16 gig or an M2 with 16 gig, those ones, you'll find them on more significant discounts. So I'd get that over upgrading the M1 Air. Sorry, that was a lot on Apple. All right. I'd love to hear your take on the Legion Slim 5 Gen 8 14-inch. I've talked so much about this today. For coding, I don't need GPU, but it's on sale. I like it. So if you go to the sheets, this is in, we have this listed under the gaming one. I should move this to the coding one, actually. I might update this. Best programming laptop, Acer Zenbook 14X, we got it there. I would move that in here, I'd say. Ethan, would you mind just, and you could grab the copy from the gaming laptop, the Legion Slim 5 14. If you want to create a row under best programming laptops 14-inch, in the favorite one, and under the gaming laptop we have the details of and I'm talking about the Legion Slim 514. So the reason I like this for coding, and we're talking, it's here, this one, column D under our gaming laptop deals, and I'll just click on it so I can show you it. There's a couple of reasons that I like this one for coding. One, it just doesn't get that warm to the touch, which is really rare in a high performance 14-inch laptop because it's a small laptop, so that's really nice as a coder. It's also, as I recall, got a 14.5-inch OLED display, so you can see lots of code. It looks really sharp. It's nice for coding. And 14.5-inch, honestly, for coding, it's very luxurious. You're not going to be kind of going, I'm desperate to see more screen real estate. Sure, if you get a high-resolution 16-inch panel like the MacBook Pro 16 I have here, it is absolutely much more luxurious. You're like, as a coder, you're like, oh, this is amazing. But this one, as a coder, you're going to enjoy it. You've got 16 gig of memory. The Ryzen processor is excellent. As I said, doesn't feel hot to the touch. The only issue with this one, as a coder, the keyboard isn't the most comfortable. It's a little mushy and low travel. I think we rated as like out of an average keyboard is about where we rated it. The G14 has a much better keyboard. The only thing about this one as well, the other one I wanted to mention is that its size. It's quite a large laptop. This one, honestly, we often confused it for the 16-inch in the studio because it's just it's a big footprint. This, in today's day and age, it kind of feels more like a 15-inch laptop in its footprint than a 14.5. So I do think it's a good one for coders. The other one, as I mentioned, that you could look at, and why is this not on sale? Are we going to the wrong link here? How is this not on sale?
I think it's on sale on Lenovo site.
Oh, it's on sale on Lenovo. Could you just check if it's... That Lenovo site, as I recall, that one is a 4050. This is the 4060. That's why we're not linking it to it. You can see we've spent way too much time on this today. The fact I just know this off the top of my head. Yeah, so that's the 16-inch. Yeah, so I would say G14, me personally, as a coder, it's neck and neck between the G14 and this one, the Slim 514. G14 gets warm to the touch, but it does have a much nicer keyboard. So I'd say those two are good coding laptops for those on the go. Okay, let's keep going. Hey Josh, what's your thoughts on the 30-core M3 Max in the 16-inch for programming and some 3D work? So it depends if your 3D work is going to use those extra cores. I think this is, so 30-core, this is the lower end of the M3 Max, as I recall. I don't like it, and I'll tell you why. Here's why I get it, and I don't like it. Here's what worries me about it. So this is this one here, 30-core for $3,499. Yes, you save $500, but here's the problem. So this person is specifically calling out 3D rendering. That is going to use the GPU. In this laptop here, this has nerfed memory bandwidth, this one. And when I say nerfed, whether intentional or not, last year it had 400 gigabytes of memory bandwidth. This year, the lower end M3 Max has 300. When you're using hardware acceleration, which you're doing for 3D rendering like this person, you are going to hit memory bandwidth like crazy. And the reason guys, this is why when you look at PC gaming laptops, their dedicated graphics, which does rendering, use GDDR6 memory because it's very fast. Unified memory in the Mac, one of the great things about it is because it's used by the main processor and the acceleration, the graphics and things like that, the performance at the highest end, 400 gigabytes, is similar to an RTX 4090's GDDR6. RTX 4090 is a bit faster, and I'm talking about laptop here. Desktop is much faster. RTX 4090 is like 1,000 gigabytes of memory bandwidth. But laptop we tested, I think it was in the strict SCAR at about 450, and the highest end Mac, this one is 400. These dedicated graphics, they use this fast memory because they need it. It would be a bottleneck otherwise. Now, here we're talking about in this lower end M3 Max chip, you've only got 300 gigabytes, so you're significantly limiting memory bandwidth. I just think it's as I said, Apple, for some of their configurations, for some of their people, they've gut punched you. They've punched you in the gut, and you're one of them. You got to buy this one. I'm sorry. It just, you're talking about this one here has 66% of the memory bandwidth of a laptop RTX 4090. And by the way, you could buy, for this price, $3,499, you could buy a fantastic PC laptop, a gaming laptop for this. You could buy, here, our favorite ones are like the Alienware X16R1. That's a great one to buy. The Legion, so here they are in the game one. Alienware X16R1 we like. There's the Legion Pro. That's on the other sheet. This is on our, hang on, where's our best game laptop here? So this is our overall sheet. We tried to make it nice and simple for you and put our favorite ones here. So you could buy the Legion 7 Pro. This is an RTX 4080, the Alienware X16R1, or the Strix Scar. All of those are less than that MacBook, and they're going to have more memory bandwidth and more powerful graphics. They've gut punched you. They have. You just can't. I just cannot recommend. There's 66% of memory bandwidth of some of these PC laptops that cost less. You have to buy, if you want the Mac, and you're doing something that's really going to use a lot of hardware acceleration, like 3D rendering, or even some of the 2D tasks for video editors, you kind of got to buy this one, unfortunately. All right. What's my opinion on base M3 MacBook Pros? The 8 gig ones, I absolutely hate them. I think the way to start a MacBook Pro is to buy this one, the M3 Pro. These I really like a lot, but this one, where you're kind of forced to upgrade to 16 gig of memory, guys, I watched a video yesterday with what looked to be a lovely lady. She is a student in her final years doing video editing, or some creator course at university, final year, and she brought this laptop and she was so excited, and she was going to use it for her professional video work after school. 8 gig of memory, you're going to be absolute, like I talk about this a lot, if you run out of memory, you don't just massively lose performance, it goes down a little bit because it starts swapping to disks. Disks are now very fast. I'm talking about NVMe storage. But that's when you're talking like 16 gig to 32. When you really have enough base memory, right? 16 gig to 32, you start to notice a little bit of a lack in speed for applications that really need more memory, but you don't notice a massive drop in speed like you do with, say, a lack of memory bandwidth. That's just a complete nuke. Like that to the M3 Max lower end with 300 gigabytes of memory bandwidth to the 400 gigabytes of memory bandwidth. If you're hitting hardware acceleration, you're talking 75% of the speed. So you notice a massive nuke. But when you run out of memory, when you're talking 16 to 32 or 32 to 64, you don't tend to notice such a big drop in performance. But with 8 gig, you will notice a monstrous drop in performance. It's just way too low. And it's so misleading of Apple to do this. This poor girl just spent $1,600. She's like a third or fourth year student hoping to use this for her professional workload for a couple of years. And she bought 512 gig of storage, which isn't going to store many video files, which is what she's doing. I really don't like this config. I just think Apple in this price range, completely irrelevant. They're irrelevant in this price range. I mean, for this kind of price, the Legion Slim 7 AMD is fantastic. There's so many good PC laptops in this price range, and Apple's really don't start getting good, I would say, to the M3 Pro, one of these base models, and you can tend to find them on sale. We have some great sales on them that we've linked in this sheet here, the MacBook one here. The other option as well, if you do want a cheaper one like the M3, get this one, the M2 Pro from last year. You'll find a link for it here in our MacBook deals for 2023. So I'd get that one. You know, the M3 base, I just can't. I'm sorry to stuttering here. It makes me so angry that this poor girl is being misled. I literally want to post a comment on her video. She only had a couple hundred views to say, I will pay for you to literally to return it and upgrade it. It's just such an embarrassment. It's so misleading. And the poor thing thought she was buying a good laptop. Just dreadful. Okay. Asus TUF A16 is better than the Legion Slim 516. Not really. The reason we liked it better, first of all, some of these things like the Asus TUF, a lot of these have a lot of different graphics variations. But if you're talking about, so we're talking here about the Asus TUF A16 versus the Legion Slim 516. So Legion Slim 516 is here. We know it very well. It's got a great sale going on right now. And then we're talking about the TUF A16, which we also know very well. Here's the skinny, okay? If you're talking about apples to apples graphics, so you're talking about, say, 4060 to 4060. Oh, this one, as I recall, yeah, this uses the Ryzen graphics, the Radeon graphics, which is an AMD one. These actually, I think this performs slightly better than the 4060 if my memory serves me. Ethan, when he comes back in, can remind me. But if you're talking fairly similar graphics, the main thing to consider here is that the Legion Slim 516, it's a slightly better laptop than this one. This one is more, I find, more real budget laptop territory. So you're talking a full HD display. As I recall, this display might have been a bit dim. I can't remember. I have to get Ethan to look it up, but we might have it here. We have, for when we do big roundups, guys, we actually do have our ratings that we used in the actual video down here too. So if we look at the screen, the display was a 3 for the Asus TUF, and the Legion Slim 516 was a 2. Wow, it was worse. Can you look up quickly, what was the can you just show me the difference between the Asus TUF A16 screen and the Legion Slim 516? Was it resolution? But they're both full HD like screens. Both, yeah, was it just brightness? Color. Was it color accuracy? Give me a second, we're going to get back. So we're talking about the difference between getting this or getting the TUF. Where's the TUF? It's over here. I just want to, because the TUF is cheaper. And the RX 7600S that the TUF comes with, was that better than the RTX 4060 or better than the RTX 4050? I think it was better than the 4050, wasn't it? Okay. Well, in that case, you got a significantly better graphics card than in this one. We're just checking this for you guys. So this is Ethan's assignment, so I'm going to move these over here. He's got this covered, and he's going to tell you the difference between them. We had both in. We just want to be really sure of the information we give you guys. So I'm going to move them over to the side, and once you've kind of so display and then graphics. So we're looking at Ethan. Lee, for a decent battery. I'm sorry, my stomach's making noise. I still haven't eaten anything today. Would you recommend MacBook Air upgrades for use watching YouTube? No. Let me just repeat the question. I have to have some coffee. Okay, so this guy was asking MacBook Air, would you recommend MacBook Air upgrades for use to watch YouTube, Netflix only? My only concern is if I start putting photos on it versus iCloud. No. If you start putting photos on it versus iCloud, that's more storage, and you can buy a base model MacBook Air, I think, with 512 gig. He hasn't specified which Air, whether it's the M2 or the M1. I'm going to assume it's the M2. I try to avoid Apple's upgrades because if you upgrade Macs, right, and I showed this example as before, there's like a crazy example of the M1. Here's the MacBook Air M1. If you don't upgrade it, you can buy it on sale for $749. The link here takes you to it. If you do upgrade it, it's no longer a base model, and Apple's go on sale for base models. That's the standard configurations that they sell. Once you can customize them, you tend to lose these discounts that the retailers offer. So if we go to the MacBook Air M1, and we go, this is the M2, let me bring up the M1, and we customize it with 16 gig of memory. I'm just giving you this as an example, okay? If we go here, this is the M1, we customize it with 16 gig of memory, you lose out on that sale. It's no longer, but retailers don't sell this model, right? It's a custom model. So now you're paying $1,200 for the 16 gig of memory one, and you're losing out on the sale, which if you click on our link here, MacBook Air M1, click on the link, bam, $750, right, for the 8 gig of memory model. 2, you're now paying $1,200. So you're talking $450 to upgrade that memory to 16 gig from 8. First of all, for your use case of just browsing the internet, that sort of thing, 8 gig, I know people get angry at me with this, it's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. What I would prefer you do is grab that extra $450 that you would have spent, which is crazy, put that away, save it. I'm not a financial advisor, but I put it away, save it, and you can buy an upgrade to another laptop pretty soon, right? MacBooks hold their value. You grab your $750 MacBook Air, in 2 years' time, you sell it for $300 or $400, you put in your $450 that you didn't spend now upgrading it, bam, hopefully you get a 16 gig of model there, and it'll be much better on many other things because they'll have upgraded other things about the laptop. So, first of all, 8 gig of memory, if you're just browsing the web, it's going to be fine. That's point one, if that's all you're doing, point one. Point 2 is please avoid custom configs of MacBooks. If you need 16 gig of memory, try to buy a base model like an older M2 Pro or M1 Pro that's now heavily discounted that you're probably going to find around the same price of upgrading an Air with 16 gig of memory, right? Because, and by going to a Pro, you're getting lots of other benefits. Yes, it isn't as lightweight, but I promise you the 14-inch Pro, which is sitting here, it's still very portable. I've gone all around the world with it. I've traveled constantly. I bring it with me every day. It's totally portable enough. And by going to it, even an older model, instead of I should bring up Mac so we show what we're talking about here. I'm going to bring up our Mac sheet, right? As I said, if you upgrade these Airs, you lose out on the sales because they're no longer custom configs, right? You lose. So now you've got to put in, say you upgrade an Air 13. The base model $1,099. You put in $200, $1,300, right? Or you can try to look for an older M1 Pro, here's one, for $1,300, right? You just buy the Pro. It's more, it has more performance, it has better ports, it has a more useful display because it's 14.2 inches versus 13.6. You buy an older Pro, M1 Pro. That's what you do. Or the M2 Pro. That's what you do. I have some links to them here. That's what you should be doing. And here's the M2 Pro over here. I think the reason we've got the M1 Pro further along, I think that's a refurbished model where the M2 Pro is a new model. You should be doing that. They come with 16 gig of memory versus upgrading an Air to 16. Done. Someone asked, Vidush, Legion Slim Pro 9i versus Dell XPS 15. Legion Slim Pro 9i, not even a question. The Dell XPS just gets really warm to the touch. Really warm.
Did you want to know the stuff?
I just want to get back to him once more. Slim Pro 9i, please get the 16-inch, not the 14, even though the 16-inch has slightly worse ports. The 16-inch it's a wonderful laptop. I love that laptop. So get that. Don't get the XPS 15. Okay, yes.
And it was between the Tough and the Slim 5, right? Slim 516?
Yeah.
So the Tough is about 15 nits brighter.
Okay, so the Tough is 50 or 15?
Or sorry, the Slim 5 is 15 nits brighter, and the color accuracy is a little bit worse on it, but it's very close.
So these displays are very similar.
They're very similar. It's 300 to 350 nits. So.
Okay, so very similar displays. We're going back to the difference between the Legion Slim 516, which you can buy for $899. We have links to this, by the way, in our gaming laptop sheet, or the Asus Tough A16, which has a Ryzen, an AMD Radeon graphics, but it's a bit faster. It's faster than the 4050, but not as fast as the 4060, right?
Yeah, because the 4060 is what we have in the Slim 5, right? Because it did not do as well as the Slim 5. It was about 1,000 points.
So the difference here, this is 749, this is 899. This one, you're talking about 1,000 points in what time spy?
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, so and percentage base, you're talking what, like
10 to 11,000.
10 to 11%?
10 to 11,000, so maybe 10%.
Yeah, about. So this one has about 10% better graphics performance, but because it is NVIDIA, you get DLSS 3, which is so good. So this, I would say, is substantially better for gaming than this. So you're paying $150 extra, but you're going to find it's a lot better for gaming. So that's the difference. And it feels a little bit more premium, this one. I wouldn't call the Legion Slim 5 a premium laptop, honestly. Legion Slim 7 is definitely a premium laptop, but this one, it still feels a little bit better, I think, than the Tough. So that's the difference between them, going back. Guys, I want to take a break and get a quick bite to eat. Who thinks I should come back and do more streaming, or should I? How many viewers do we have? We're down. How many people do we have on the chat thing right now? We have 246. There's a lot. I could come back. Do people want me to come back? What should I do? There's so many questions. Oi. There's a lot of questions. I may come back, is what I'm thinking, guys. I'm not sure yet, but I need to get some food. Don't come back. Please come back. M16 4070 versus Slim 7i 4070. That's a tough question, guys. They both get warm. That's a very tough one. Very similar, to be honest. Please come back. Lots of people saying come back. All right, guys, I'm going to get some food because it's now 11 in the morning here. I haven't eaten, and standing up here talking nonstop for ages is pretty tiring. So I'm going to grab some food. I'll probably... what do you think, Ethan? Do we keep going?
Sure, we can keep going a little bit.
Do you know this well enough? Do you want to take it?
I don't know this super well.
Between you and Taylor. So maybe, because I'm just trying to think, guys, I've been streaming for 2 hours so far, and I'm getting 2 hours and 10 minutes, which is pretty epic. I might just give me just 2 seconds. I might just grab a quick bite to eat and do a little bit more, because people seem, if I'm helping you guys, that's great. And I might come back. Just give me 2 seconds. I want to check a couple of things. And then I might come back and answer some more questions. As I said, if you're looking for the deals that we have and our favorite laptops, these are all down below this stream. You'll see links to them down there, so that's where you look for them. So if you're looking for like our favorite laptops, that's where you'll find them. I'm just checking a couple of things now. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe we end for now, and then we may come back and do another stream if people are kind of really keen for another stream, and hopefully more people can join us. So look, guys, keep an eye on YouTube today. If we come back in an hour, maybe half an hour or so, maybe we'll do that. Otherwise, we're making more videos for you guys, is what we're doing, and we're also, after this, given the laptops you're asking questions of, obviously we've spent the last 2 hours scouring the internet for deals. We're going to be updating these sheets as well to make sure they're in line with what we think are not only the great deals, but the laptops we actually like and recommend. And some laptops, by the way, if we've talked negatively about them in a video, but you see us recommending them, that's just because the price has massively changed and now they become a recommendation. Well, that's all for now. I'm going to go get a bite to eat. It's really good to see everyone and spend some time with you guys. Just a note that we're right now, the business channel, which is the newer channel, Just Josh Business or Just Josh Biz, that one we're going to do a lot of live stream. That's about how to be successful in your career. And that one, please go check it out. Please go follow it, because that one's going to have a weekly live stream, which will cover stuff like how to get promoted at work, how to get a job, how to move up the corporate ladder, how to start a business, all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk a lot about that on that channel on a weekly basis, so make sure you're subscribed to that. A lot of the content on it is a little bit, we launched a couple of videos about 3 months ago on it. Haven't done much on it because we've been focusing on the tech channel, but do subscribe to that one. There's going to be a lot of live streaming on that, a lot of Q&A, that sort of thing. So again, links are down below the video to the laptops we recommend. Please check them out, and I might come back on later, but for now I'm going to go get a bite to eat. It's really good to see everyone.